ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Rapari, and this is Tab, the Truth Always Boomer. So what did you guys think of the impeachment hearings last week, specifically Marie Yovanovitch? Well, I think she lied within the first hour of her testimony, and it was pretty obvious to me, but I'm going to lay out some facts, and you guys can be the judge for yourselves. And I think you'll come to the same conclusion I did. So let's get started and look at the facts, shall we?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, pay close attention to when she's asked if she had created a do not prosecute list, and listen to her answer, okay?
Was the allegation that you had created a do not prosecute list to give to the Prosecutor General in Ukraine true?
No.
Well, you heard her answer. Her answer was no. She did not create a do not prosecute list. Well, that's her answer. Her answer was no, for everyone to see. So, let's look at some facts and see if that answer's true. From the Tab clipboard, the New York Times, the man Trump trusts for news on Ukraine. From the New York Times, let's read. In an interview with the New York Times last month, Mr. Lyshenko blamed the confusion on the interpreter who handled his interview with The Hill. But he insisted that the ambassador, Marie Yovanovitch, had in fact asked him not to target certain politicians and activists who worked with the embassy on its anti-corruption efforts. Well, either he's lying or she's lying. I don't know. I don't know who's lying, who's telling the truth, but there is definitely doubt there as to who is telling the truth, so I'm not sure which one it is. So like I said, you be the judge. So let's look at some more evidence regarding her statement that she did not create a do not prosecute list. We had a look at a liberal news media account of it from the New York Times. Now let's look at a more conservative leaning outlet and see what they have to say. From John Solomon Reports, my sources told me specifically that the U.S. Embassy had pressured the Ukraine prosecutors in 2016 to drop or avoid pursuing several cases, including one involving the Soros-backed Anti-Corruption Action Center and two cases involving Ukraine officials who criticized Donald Trump and his campaign manager Paul Manafort. To back up their story, my sources provided me a letter then Embassy official George Kent wrote proving it happened. State officials authenticated the letter, and Kent recently acknowledged in his testimony he signed that letter. I'll be showing you that letter in a couple minutes. Also from John Solomon Reports, more recently George Kent, the embassy's chargé d'affaires in 2016, and now a Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, confirmed in impeachment testimony that he personally signed the 2016 letter demanding Ukraine drop the case against the Anti-Corruption Action Center. He also testified he was aware of pressure the U.S. Embassy also applied on Ukraine prosecutors to drop investigations against a journalist named Vitaly Shabukin, a parliamentary member named Sergei Lyshenko, and a senior law enforcement official named Artem Sitnik. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from the aforementioned letter, I blew up a couple paragraphs that are very relevant. Let's read, shall we? We are completely satisfied that the assistance in question has only been used for those purposes and, as stated above, do not see any grounds from our perspective as the donor who provided the assistance for an investigation into their use. Given the above, we reject allegations that Mr. Sakvaraldes or anyone within the Prosecutor General's office with whom we worked should have misused these funds, since they were never under their control. The investigation into the actions of the Anti-Corruption Action Center, now where have we heard that before, based on the assistance they have received from us, is similarly misplaced. As voiced by European Union Ambassador Jan Tabinski, we are gravely concerned about this investigation, for which we see no basis and which appears to us to be an attempt to intimidate those in the Prosecutor General's office most committed to combating corruption, as well as non-governmental partners and outspoken anti-corruption activists. Well, look at that. That kind of contradicts what she just said. Whenever they're mentioning the office or the, whatever, the embassy, they're talking about her. She's the ambassador. She's in charge. So they're talking about basically her office. So, I don't know. Again, more doubt for me. I don't know who's telling the truth, but there's definitely 3 or 4 people here telling different stories. I'm leaning more toward that she's not telling the truth. You be the judge. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just giving you the facts. You be the judge. There's definitely contradicting testimony here, and she's not being totally truthful, I don't think. So, you be the judge.
Well, there you have the facts, ladies and gentlemen. So you be the judge. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. I'm just giving you my opinion. I think she lied. And you can look at the facts and make up your own minds. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. That's it for now. More news later. Take care, and as always, be safe.